Are the New Orleans Saints considering signing veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers? We're going to dive into this topic because obviously Derek Carr retired from the National Football League, and the Saints do have a need at the quarterback position for a veteran quarterback. They have Tyler Shuck, who's 26 years old. They have Spencer Rattler, who's going into his second year, and you also have Jake Haener under contract. But Rodgers to New Orleans is a possibility. I'm not going to sit here and say it's legit. I'm not going to sit here and say it's 100% happening, but I will say I think it's something to at least consider and to at least discuss. So before I give you my take and I give you all of the reasons why I have my opinions, I want to hear from you. Would you sign Aaron Rodgers? Type sign or pass down in the comments section. Let me know what you think. It's the pinned comment, so go and reply to it whenever you get a chance. Would you sign Aaron Rodgers? Be the GM. Now, let me just say this. First things first, I want absolutely nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. And, Moose, this is how I'm going to know people didn't watch more than 30 seconds of the video because they're going to be like, wow, you're over here saying we should sign Aaron Rodgers. Literally read it right here. Okay, we're going to go together. I want nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. Clear? Black and white, crystal clear. Is it as clear as day? I want absolutely nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers for a plethora of reasons. The first one being the Saints should embrace the youth movement. Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. Right now, you have a quarterback room which is very, very young between Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, and Hunter Deckers. But with Aaron Rodgers, he's 41 years old. You have the youngest head coach in the National Football League. And I think if you sign this player, it honestly ruins a lot of momentum that the Saints have built when it comes to building for the future. Not trying to stay afloat now, but trying to build something for the future. And for what it's worth, I just think it's time to move on from this topic. And when the topic that I'm discussing is continuing to sign veteran quarterbacks. We did it with Drew Brees. It worked out for years. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I don't blame them for trying to extend the Drew Brees era with Jameis Winston and then Andy Dalton and then Derek Carr. Like, I can see the vision. I get why they did that. But it's time to move on. It's time to block your ex-girlfriend's number. It's time to just put that idea to rest because the grass is always greener on the other side. And for the New Orleans Saints, don't go spend money on the quarterback position. Have a young quarterback and invest around him. That is what successful teams are doing in the National Football League these days. And also, it's just, quite frankly, the better option. Aaron Rodgers, sure, he's a great football player. This dude was an MVP multiple times. He is so good at throwing the football. That's not what I'm trying to talk about. But I will tell you this, I don't think that it makes sense for Aaron Rodgers to trade in the ayahuasca for some voodoo magic. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The Saints should not want him in New Orleans. Aaron Rodgers probably should want to go elsewhere because he won't necessarily have the opportunity to start guaranteed because the Saints are trying to move forward with this youth idea. With Aaron Rodgers, sure, he would beat out Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler in a quarterback battle, no questions asked. But the Saints aren't trying to win now. The Saints are trying to build ahead. And friend of the show, friend of the program, my dear colleague and really, really good homie, Ross Jackson, does a lot of great work. Look what he had to say on this situation. If New Orleans is in a pinch at any time and Rodgers hasn't signed with the Steelers by then, they could take this route as an emergency option. Ross Jackson putting this out on a blog on his website. I highly recommend you go check it out. Rodgers said that he'd be willing to play somewhere for $10 million. That's definitely intriguing, which is well within the Saints' price range at this point. Right now, New Orleans does have $27 million in cap space to spend. But I just go back to the point of I want nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. I want to touch him with the 10-foot pole. I wouldn't even think about flying him out to New Orleans. I wouldn't even let him get to the Gulf Coast region. You don't need a player that's old, that has dealt with injuries over the past year. He played all 17 games last year, but I'm good. I'm okay. You had an old quarterback that had some injuries. Let's just not run it back. Let's not do that. Same reasons I want nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. No, I'm okay. Now, really quick, I want to encourage you to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Let's keep this party rolling. We're on the road to 50K, so we're chipping away every single day. Join the Golden Gang for 100% free content by Saints fans for Saints fans every day. Hit your boy up. Honestly, Moose, do I tell him? I'm out of town right now. I'm in St. Louis for my dear friend's wedding. And I filmed this on Wednesday because I wanted to make sure the Who Dat Nation had content throughout the week, and I'm committed to you, and that's why I ask that you commit to me. Subscribe to Saints Now and hit your boy up on social media. Now let's talk about the quarterback position because I did say at the beginning of the video, the Saints should sign a veteran quarterback, and I do believe that. I mean, with the Saints quarterback room right now, you have 0 wins. You have 0 wins on the quarterback depth chart. So you're going to need to bring in somebody who at least has some experience, at least has a little bit of NFL pedigree. And I'm not saying that you need to bring in a player to be a starter. I'm just saying you need somebody to be there in case of emergency. In terms of quarterbacks available, not really anything that's going to get you too excited. Carson Wentz, it's an option. I actually wouldn't hate that one. Teddy Bridgewater, would love to see Teddy Two Gloves back in the black and gold. His will must be done. He must return to the Superdome. That being said, he is doing a great job being a high school football coach. Seems like he's going to be returning there this year, but maybe in December we could give him a call when the season's over. Tyler Huntley, that's an interesting name to keep in mind. Like, my whole point of showing you that list and showing you that graphic, there's really not anything that interesting. I want nothing to do with Desmond Ridder. Dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine if we signed Desmond Ridder? That would be, oh my God, it would be a PR nightmare for New Orleans. Jake Fromm, also an option. No thank you. But one that is intriguing, Tyler Huntley, I actually wouldn't hate that. I could get on board with the Tyler Huntley because he's played at a high level in Baltimore. I mean, for a backup. He also has some time in Miami, so, maybe he's a little bit used to the humidity and to the warmth. I'm just saying, I think that this could be a good player to consider. So in terms of the players that are available, I don't love all the names. But I will say this. Right now across the National Football League, teams have anywhere from 85 to 90 people on their roster. Whenever you get to week 1, you got to have 53 players. So roster cuts are going to be coming at the end of OTAs and training camp. So I'm interested to see which players are shocking cuts and are surprise cuts due to either cap reasons or to reasons of they lost the position battle and stuff. So I am interested to see, 1, who gets cut, but also 2, who's on the trade block, because maybe there is a player that's worth at least exploring. I'm going to just make the blanket statement. Of course, that could be an option. I just would avoid trading for a quarterback. QBs are the most prime position in all of sports. It's the most expensive, most desired position that you can have on any team in any sport across the world. So I would not trade for a quarterback. I'd rather sign one of these guys because you are going to have to give up a pretty penny and give up some high trade capital in terms of getting a player you would want. So I'm just not in the camp of trade for a quarterback. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. But in terms of my top picks for the free agency class, kind of tease to this. Again, this is for a veteran quarterback role. This is not to be a starter. This is to be a support system, to be a guy who can come in at any moment and can start and he can be serviceable. Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyler Huntley. Those are my top 3 names that are available right now in free agency. But in terms of why, Carson Wentz, for what it's worth, he did actually get some run with Patrick Mahomes. He was with the Chiefs. He was really good with the Eagles a handful of years ago when he was a part of their Super Bowl run. But maybe, just maybe, this is a strong maybe, Moose. Maybe, just maybe, a little of the Patrick Mahomes magic rubbed off on Carson Wentz. And maybe that can, translate into the Saints quarterback room. Who knows? Having fun with it, wishful thinking. But still, Carson Wentz maybe is an option, only 32 years old. Teddy Bridgewater, this is actually one that I would just love purely for vibes. Like, want it on record. For vibes. This would be electric. He did have that insane Linsanity run when he was a starting quarterback a handful of years ago, but he hasn't played a snap since 2022. Only played 5 games in that season. Wasn't horrible. Wasn't great. He's a backup. Again, this isn't purely for vibes, but, Tyler Huntley is one to consider. Like, I do think with Tyler Huntley, not only could he be a serviceable player, but he could also be somebody who does have the ability to do multiple things in your offense. And in terms of the statistics over the course of his career, he in 2021 over 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a very limited role, only 7 games played, but he does have some rushing ability over his career, 141 carries, 644 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's a player that maybe could be worth exploring. I think that it's something to consider. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but definitely something to consider. So once again, Here's all the players that are available in free agency. My top options: Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyler Huntley. Again, it's a veteran quarterback role, but that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking to be a starter. If this is Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler's team, at least for this year and probably for the next couple of seasons. Like, that needs to be very, very clear here. So who could be a backup? That's the question that we want to answer. Now, I want to also ask you this question because I need an answer here. What's your confidence level in the Saints quarterback room? For me, like 65%. I think that's fair. Like, I don't want to say something ridiculous like 80% because that's a lie. I haven't seen our starting quarterback take a snap yet. I haven't seen him in any sort of game action. I haven't seen him in any sort of real reps. It's all been in jerseys. It's all been in shorts and T-shirts. So we'll have to see what happens in terms of the quarterback room. Spencer Rattler, intriguing, but really needs to put things together. Showed flashes, just wasn't consistent. Jake Hader, I think, is kind of the odd man out here. Honestly, I could see Hunter Deckers competing with him, but we'll have to see. My confidence, 60s, somewhere around there. What do you think? Subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Y'all stay golden. Have a wonderful weekend.